Hi all of you. In this video, we will be discussing about business purchase and some general discussions. Some questions whose homework, whose solution has already been given in the material, but in those questions, a few points are there which requires a little discussion. So those things we will be doing in this video. Let's start with first business purchase. The aggregate cash flows, accounting standard 3 says that the aggregate cash flows arising from acquisition and disposal of subsidiary or other business units should be presented separately. Number one, it should be presented separately and it should be shown under the heading of investing activity. So AS3 has provided guidelines where to show the cash flows arising from acquisition and disposal of business units in cash flow statement. According to AS3, it should be shown under the heading of investing activity. Then they are saying the cash flow from disposal and cash flow from acquisition should not be netted off. We should show them separately gross. And we should also disclose with respect to acquisition and disposal the total purchase consideration paid or total purchase consideration received on sale of business units or subsidiary. And in the total purchase consideration, disposable consideration, what is the amount which has been discharged by cash and cash equivalents? So these things we have to disclose in cash flow statement. Then they are saying that when a business entity acquires another business entity, it is not a operating activity. Business purchase is not an operating activity. So while taking the difference between the closing and opening current assets and liabilities, the closing balance sheet should be reduced by the values of current assets and liabilities taken over. Why do we do that? This ensures that the difference reflects the increase or decrease in current assets and liabilities due to operating activity only. In simple words, AS3 says that if Zomato is acquiring Uber Eats, then Zomato would be paying some consideration, some money to Uber Eats. That's called purchase consideration. So when you are preparing cash flow statement, the consideration which Zomato is paying to Uber Eats in a cash flow statement, it will not be shown under operating activity. It will not be shown under, it will be not shown under financing activity. It will be shown under investing activity. So purchase consideration paid to acquire Uber Eats. Show it under investing activity. This is the first point which they have told. So whenever one entity acquires another entity, the consideration which the acquiring entity is paying to the selling entity, the money which Zomato will pay to Uber Eats, Zomato ka cash flow statement, in the cash flow statement of Zomato, it should be shown in investing activity. This is what accounting standard 3 is saying. Number one. Number two, when Zomato will acquire Uber Eats, all the assets, liabilities of Uber Eats will become the assets and liabilities of Zomato and will be incorporated in the books of Zomato. So the journal entry which Zomato will record on the acquisition of Uber Eats will be assets of Uber Eats account debit. In this, there will be current assets also. In this, there will be fixed assets also. if I rate individually, property, plant and equipment of Uber Eats account debit. This is the property, plant and equipment of Uber Eats. It is coming to our books because we have acquired their business. So when we have acquired their business, their assets and liabilities will become our assets and liabilities. So from their books, those assets and liabilities will be brought to our books. So in our books, the assets and liabilities will increase. PPE account debit, stock account debit, if any, debtor account debit. And if their liabilities is also coming to us, then in our books, liability will increase. When liability increases, credit, creditors account, credit. So these are the assets which we have acquired, and these are the liabilities which we have acquired, and the difference represents the net assets, for which this is the net amount of assets which Uber Eats is giving to Zomato. And in return, Zomato will pay some money. So to cash, bank account. This is the purchase consideration. This purchase consideration will be shown in investing activity. This is what AS3 is saying. Then AS3 is saying, when you are preparing Zomato cash flow statement, in the working capital changes, we take the difference between opening stock and closing stock. In the debtors, we take the difference between, in the working capital changes, we take the difference between opening and closing stock, opening debtor, closing debtor, opening outstanding, closing outstanding expenses, opening creditor, closing creditor. The point which you have to understand is the stock, the debtor, which was acquired by Zomato from Uber Eats, the outstanding expenses, the creditor which was acquired by Zomato from Uber Eats will be included in the stock of Zomato, debtor of Zomato, outstanding expenses of Zomato, creditors of Zomato. So when you are taking the difference between opening and closing, from the closing figures, remove the stock, debtor, outstanding expenses, creditor related to Uber Eats, and then take the difference in the working capital changes. So see, it's quite simple. It's not that difficult to understand, and it's quite logical also. All they are saying is that when Zomato will acquire Uber Eats, then Uber Eats ka stock, BR, prepaid expenses, debtor, in short, all the current assets will come to the books of Zomato. So Zomato will pass an entry, debit what comes in, assets are increasing. These are assets of Uber Eats acquired by us. So in our books, assets will increase, debit. Even the liability will increase. The liabilities will also become our liability now. We have to pay it. We have acquired the business. So when liability increases, we record it by crediting. Now, as soon as Zomato will pass this entry, then when Zomato prepares its balance sheet at year end, opening, closing, at year end when Zomato will prepare its balance sheet, the stock figure of Zomato may include the stock acquired from Uber Eats. BR figure may include the BR acquired from Uber Eats. Similarly, debtors figure will include the debtors acquired from Uber Eats. Prepaid expenses may include some prepaid expenses of Uber Eats. In working capital changes, we take the difference between opening and closing. But when you are taking the difference between opening and closing in the working capital changes, in the total closing stock of Zomato, whatever stock has been acquired by Zomato from Uber Eats should be deducted. Similarly, if BR debtors and prepaid expenses includes some BR debtors and prepaid expenses acquired from Uber Eats, should be eliminated, and then the difference between opening and closing figure should be taken in working capital changes. See, the reason is very simple. Because these stock, BR, prepaid expenses, debtor, creditor, outstanding expenses have not arisen in the routine day-to-day business operations of Zomato, but it has arisen due to an activity of buying another business entity. So it is a part of investing activity, not a part of operating activity. So in the working capital changes, we will not consider these stocks and debtor, current assets and current liability. Third point. So first point, whatever money you have paid for acquiring another business entity, show it under investing activity. Or whatever money you have received by selling a business entity or business unit, show it under investing activity as a cash inflow. And if you're paying money, then show it as a cash outflow. Second point, working capital changes calculation may be careful. Don't include the current assets and current liabilities of acquired entity. Third, Reliance Industries acquired NetMeds. It's an online pharmacy portal. So for 620 crore. And suppose it sold, I'm just simply selling, Reliance sold Den Networks for 120 crore. So there is acquisition of another business entity, and there is sale also of one of the business entity owned by us, or one of the business units owned by us, we have sold it. When you are preparing cash flow from investing activity, do not net off the two, show them separately. Show purchase consideration paid for acquisition of NetMeds 620 crore as outflow separately, and show the money received, disposal consideration received on sale of Den Networks 120 crore inflow separately. Do not set off the two and show the net amount. No, you're not allowed to show the net amount. Net amount received or paid for acquisition of another business entity, 500 crore. No, that's wrong. Netting off is not allowed. This is what is written in these paragraphs, which we have discussed right now. So this was one of the objective of this video, to discuss about business purchase and treatment of current assets and liabilities. So it will come under investing activity, and netting off is not allowed. You have to show it separately. Business purchase will come under investing activity, and netting off cash flow from disposal and acquisition of business units. Reliance Industries acquired NetMeds and suppose it disposed Den Networks. The two has to be shown separately on the face of cash flow from investing activity. Fine. Now a few discussions we have to do, which are whose solution has already been given to you, but still few points. If we discuss it in the class, it will be fine. We will not do the full-fledged questions, just a few important points. Solution is already given for these questions. Question number 32. So what I would want you to do at this point of the video is, you should pause the video and once read the entire question number 32. And then see, and then listen to the discussion which we are going to do right now. All right. So I hope you have paused the video, read the entire question. And now the small points which we have to discuss, we are going to talk about it. First point which we have to talk about it is income tax liability was debited to contingency reserve. Guys, whenever we find profit before tax and extraordinary items in the working note, the formula was, we used to take the difference in PL, we used to add back the transfer to reserves made during the year, if any, transfer to reserves. Then we used to add back the dividend declared during the current year, out of current year profits. Then we used to add the PFT, tax debited to P&L account. Because to find out profit before tax, the tax expense recorded in the P&L account, we have to add it back. Then we will get profit before tax. And then what we used to do, this we used to take it in the operating activity. And then in step number 4, we used to minus the tax paid. So first we used to start with profit before tax. And later in step number 4, we used to minus tax paid, so that a separate visibility of tax paid transaction comes on the face of cash flow statement. So that a separate visibility happens for tax paid transaction on the face of cash flow statement. If you will directly start only with the profit after tax payment, then again, if you will minus tax paid, then double time the tax payment will be get recorded. And in that case, the visibility of tax payment transaction separate will not happen. So we start with profit before tax and then separately we minus the tax paid. Now to find out profit before tax, we add back the tax expense debited to P&L account. But in this question, the tax expense has not been debited to P&L account. It has been debited to contingency reserve. Since it has not been debited to P&L account, so when you're finding out the profit before tax, do not add back. Do not add back this amount because it has been debited to contingency reserve. Just all you have to do is that in step number 4, minus the tax paid, but do not add back, because since you didn't debit the tax payment to P&L account, so to find out the profit before tax, you don't even have to add back the tax expense. Second, guys, this depreciation fund, they have given, although in the liability side of the balance sheet, they will give anything nonsense, but it is not a correct presentation. It is a wrong presentation. Accumulated depreciation and all should be shown as a deduction from the respective asset. When you will read point number 1, you will get to know that this depreciation fund is related to machinery. And it is nothing but accumulated depreciation account. That was the only thing which was important in this question to be discussed. And nothing else was there in this question to be discussed. Since they have not given the PFT account, so the income tax debited to contingency reserve is what is paid also during the current year. Now, question number 33. Rest of the solution is given in at the end of the chapter, so you can refer that. But all these are your past examination questions. These are similar to what we have discussed earlier. Here and there, few new points are there, but do not skip it. Homework questions are equally important. Do not think that these are waste questions. These have been asked in past attempt and can be again asked also. Do not skip these questions. Question number 33. Again, pause the video once you read the entire question. Few things which we have to discuss. First of all, it is a proprietorship organization. It is not a partnership organization. It is not a company organization. It is a proprietorship organization. Second, the difference between the opening capital and closing capital, you cannot say that it is fully related to additional capital introduced. No. In case of a proprietorship organization, how closing capital balances are found, we learned in single entry chapter, incomplete records chapter. With the opening capital, which is 10 lakh, we add net profit earned during the year, and the net profit earned during the year is 3,60,000. Then we minus drawings, if any, then we get the closing capital. Closing capital given in the question is 12,24,000. So with opening capital, the equation is, with opening capital, when we add net profit, when we minus drawings, which we don't know, then we get closing capital. So what we can do, we can use this equation to find out the drawings. And that drawings is withdrawal of capital for a proprietorship organization. And that withdrawal of capital will be recorded in financing activity as a cash outflow. Not in operating, not in investing, financing activity. If there is capital introduced by the proprietor, then financing activity. Capital withdrawn, financing activity. So this drawings through this equation, which you will get it, you will put it in financing activity as a cash outflow. This was the first point which we had to discuss, that it's a proprietorship organization. It's not a company organization. Company organization mein, the difference in the capital account is either buyback, redemption, or issue. But in case of a proprietorship organization, the capital includes net profit. It is after drawings. So the difference we will get drawings in this particular question, which will be put in FA, financing activity. All these questions are past examination questions. They are simple. Just 1 or 2 points we have to discuss it. Rest of the points are simple with one more discussion required. This discussion. Yellow color highlighted ka discussion is required. This blue color highlighted sentence ka discussion is not required. We have already done in so many questions. Only yellow color highlighted portions ka discussion we have to do right now. So kindly read it once. Okay. Now, whatever questions we have done so far, in all those questions, what they used to do, they used to give us on the face of balance sheet fixed assets and then original cost, and then they used to minus the accumulated depreciation, and then they used to give us the net balance. Ultimately, in the total of the balance sheet, only these net balances are counted. Just this information of original cost and accumulated depreciation, they used to give it on the face of balance sheet, so that when we prepare plant account, we can write the original cost, and when we prepare accumulated depreciation, we can write the opening and closing balances. But ultimately in the balance sheet, only the net figure comes. This question which we are discussing, in that question what they did, they directly gave us the net figure on the face of the balance sheet. Instead of showing original cost and then minusing accumulated depreciation and then arriving at the net balance, in that question, they have directly given this balance, net balance, which is after deducting accumulated depreciation. It's not that they are not maintaining accumulated depreciation account. Don't think that, oh, it means that depreciation is getting credited to fixed asset account. No, they are maintaining accumulated depreciation, but they just didn't disclose it in the balance sheet, original cost and accumulated depreciation separately. They directly disclose the net amount, accumulated depreciation information they gave at the bottom of the question in the adjustment. So what to do? What we will do with the net balance which is given in the balance sheet, we will add back accumulated depreciation, respective opening and closing. We'll get the respective opening original cost and respective closing original cost, and then we can prepare the plant and machinery account normally. So if you see in this question, they have given us the opening balance of accumulated depreciation and closing balance of accumulated depreciation. Provision for depreciation is nothing but accumulated depreciation. They use the word provision for depreciation. They have given it in the additional information. And this figure which is there is the net figure. That is original cost minus accumulated depreciation. So to find out original cost, with this net figure, we will add back the respective accumulated depreciation. We'll get the original cost, and then we can prepare those two accounts, plant and machinery account and accumulated depreciation account, the way we used to prepare in the prior questions, which we have discussed in the class. So these were the two things which we had to discuss in this question. I will just show you the solution once of question number 33. indicate to you what they have done. 33. 33. So, to find out the original cost, we have added back accumulated depreciation. And then we have prepared accumulated depreciation account separately. The way we used to do it in our class also. Plant and machinery account, accumulated depreciation account. But original cost is not the amount which is appearing on the face of balance sheet. That's the net amount. To find out the original cost with the net amount, first add back depreciation. In all the previous questions also, on the face of balance sheet, in the total of balance sheet, net amount only comes. But they used to give us original cost minus accumulated depreciation, then net amount. In this question, they have directly given net amount and given accumulated depreciation balance in the additional information. All right. So rest of the solution you can see. And if definitely any doubt comes, you can call me up.